on social links and contacts, can you able to add or personalize, like or change it? Not change it.
The list here.
Yeah, the list. Well, because I got I can use I have a loan officer who has an application app, a link. I'm sorry. So I usually have a bookmark where I have a loan officer who has with the information, so I can click on it and I'll start helping the client, doing the application. But I think probably we can add it to the website. Where's the website?
Yeah, I'm going to show you something brand new. I don't have this released yet, but I'm about to, and it will probably solve what you're asking for. I think I'm one step ahead of you for once. But we've not put it out. I may put it out tomorrow. But let me show you. There's a new section that I'm calling external documents. Okay. This external documents piece, and you guys don't have this yet, but I'll probably just push it out later today or tomorrow. It's pretty much, it's not doing everything I wanted to do yet, but it's doing enough that it'll solve this problem. So with external documents, what you could do is we could create a document type. I'm going to say manage types. I'm going to come up here and we're going to add a new type called, what was that, loan application?
Yes.
Loan application.
Link, whatever.
Yeah, it's the link for the loan application. So we put in loan application and I do that. And so what I can do is I can say, well, I need to add a URL for this person. So I'm going to come up here, I want to choose loan application, and then I can just paste in that address, whatever it is. I'm just going to put in, let me just grab let me grab share, copy link, anyone with the link. Done. So this won't be around long, but I can just put in a document link. I can put in whatever website link or whatever. If it's something that is a document that needs to be signed and it is signed, you can just indicate that it's been signed with a little checkbox type thing. I'm going to do some more with that later, but it puts it in here with the description, loan application, and then the link. So at this point, I can put in lots of different document types. Now we have a files section, and this is going to work in correlation with the files. Files is like the physical storage location, but this here allows you to assign documents to certain types, and these types then will be merge fields in documents. So I may want to say, I want to send out an email, and in that email, I want to be sure to send the link to the loan application. The loan application merge field would then have this link for them to be able to click on whenever they get the email. So it's going to tie it all together. Yes, you have access to it. You can use it without the merge fields if you want, but this is just a way to set up documents that are external to SAM. It could be a Google Drive, it could be Dropbox, it could be any of the multitude of other options. As long as it's shared, it can be a link and it can be used. Now I can come over here and I can click on it and it would open it up and be able to see whatever it is. So I have instant access to that document to do whatever I want to with it. Over on the right, I can copy that URL if I want to use it somewhere else, paste it or whatever. I can copy it and use it. If I don't need the document anymore, I can delete it, or I can go in and actually edit it and do whatever I need to if there was a change to it or something. So this is just a way to set these up. Now, they are going to be available in your contacts section like this. They're also going to be available in each of the different sections here. I'm going to somewhere in time. I always use this one as an example. And here I've got external documents as well. I can come in here and say, well, this one here, maybe it's the tax documents for this property. Maybe it's the HOA regs, whatever you want. You can create different types of document types. Now, in each section, a contact, a property, listing, transaction, each one of them have their own types available. So if I go in here and say manage types for a property, these are the types of documents that are for properties. If I go into my listings and I go to external documents, here I've got, listing agreement, MLS data sheet. I mean, all the different types of things. And you get to create those however you want. So I can manage my types. So you can create all kinds of different types that you want. Now here's where it gets really fun, is that with a listing, you may have a residential listing, you may have a commercial listing, you may have something else, and each one of those needs different document groups, groups of documents that will come in the package. So what we've done is we said, okay, not only can you make separate types, but I'll give you different groups of document types. So I can come in here to a group and say, well, for a residential listing, these are the document types that I want to always use. Okay. And so you can do that. Maybe I want to add a different type. I'm going to say a new type for condo sales, whatever you want to call this. And for condos, then it'll still have the listing agreement. I can add that in. I can add in a floor plan, whatever things that would go with that, which may be identical to the residential. I probably ought to have a copy. I don't have a copy from or something like that that'll bring them all over. But you set up the ones that you want for that particular document type. Save those. Now, I can choose between my different groups very easily here. But what it also does is if I've got, and let me just, let me go to a different listing just that doesn't have anything yet. Okay, so here's this. I've got this listing, and let's say I just listed it, and there are certain documents that I need to make sure that I get, and they'll be on my Dropbox. This is a residential listing, so I click on that, and then it preloads each of them that I should have. And then at that point, it's just coming in, clicking, pasting it in, pasting it in, pasting it in. So that way now, again, I have all the documents that I want for this listing. I have them named by certain names. These will be the merge fields for anything. So if I am sending out an email that needs the listing agreement included, whenever I put in that merge field, it'll put in the link that is specified here. Does that make sense to everybody? Awesome. Jose, will that solve what you're asking for?
Yes, I think so. Yes. Perfect.
Good. I was one step ahead of you for once. Actually, this is one of the things that we needed for Holly and her team. We were going through the co-pilot program and setting up things. And one of the things that they discussed was having external documents that they needed to include. So the thinking process went in. So the question is, Holly and gang, will this solve the problem that we were discussing?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Yep. Would there be anything else that you would request it did?
I don't think so. I mean, we'll have to use it for a second before, but I mean, it seems to solve all of those pieces.
Yeah.
And the fact that my first concern when you showed it on the contacts was being able to have it on all the different like property transaction listing. So, but you answered that. So yeah, that's all I could think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, once it's on here, the one thing that we may want to do in some way is share them between the sections. So maybe I say, yeah, go ahead and share this with the transaction or whatever, because you may also need it in the transaction side and doing that. So there's still some things that I know that we can probably add, but that the main goal was to get those merge fields in there.
So really quick, maybe just to clarify on something you talked about, using it with merge fields, is that the right terminology? Where you can send it even to one of your clients to fill out. How does that, you can show us later, but how does that, is it something that we could, it's just literally a merge field and it'll pull.
Literally, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't have that piece done yet. That's
Okay.
I'll probably have it done by the weekend or so, but we will create probably something that says like external document listing agreement, external document seller disclosure as merge fields. And then whenever you're typing in your document, your email or your SMS, and you insert a merge field, you're going to choose that merge field name, whatever that is. And then whenever it merges the information, it will put it in as a link in the body of the thing, so they can just click on it. It'll be labeled, and then have the link that goes along with it. The next part of that would be to go ahead and include it as maybe an attachment, but to do the attachment, you run into the same problem we discussed last week, where if you've got large attachments, the appraisals and some of the inspections that have lots of pictures and stuff, those things can get very large, and some email programs won't take them. So you're better off putting it into a shared drive, send them the link to the shared drive, and maybe that's all you want in here is this, a shared drive link, and then you can give that to them, and then there may be multiple documents in there that, client shared drive, and then that's their shared drive that can be used for anything, and it's a merge field. All right.
We have something similar from DocuSign. It's called a transaction room.
Right.
The transaction room, the former name Caraby. And I've been using it for years. But it's all the documents are in the cloud.
Right.
DocuSign bought Caraby, integrated with DocuSign, and now is integrated with ZForms. So we use that transaction room to upload all the documents and everything, and we have it in the cloud.
Yeah.
But of course, it's a service. You have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. What I do foresee on that is at some point creating some integrations so that if you attach a dot loop or any of those transaction manager pieces, that if I can have access to the list of files, we can bring them immediately into here, and then they're available. At that point, then you can include them into your documents and stuff. Yeah.
That'll be very nice to connect, make the integration connection with ZForms and DocuSign. So, just grab all the documents, send it out, and make a copy here or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, we use something similar. It's through our local MLS. It's Transaction Desk, and it's kind of the same. Sounds like very similar, where most of the forms documents are signed, and then you kind of have a transaction per client.
Yeah. And if nothing else, you could have a type here called transaction forms or transaction desk forms, something like that. Yeah. And then you put the link to their shared folder. And then at that point, you're sending that out and it gives them everything that they need. But this way we have the merge field name that we need, and the link that we need to be able to do whatever. And, being able to say, well, there are certain documents I want to make sure I get filled in. This allows you to then go in there and do it. And if you want them in a certain order, I do allow you to, reorder them so that they're displayed in the order that you want them displayed in. You can set up that in the groups themselves. So for the residential listing, you can choose which ones you want in what order. And then if this is not a great example because one of these is residential. I added the residential. Now, maybe there's inspections or there's other things that's still part of residential, but not needed all the time. You could set up a special group just for the inspection documents. And then you select it and it'll go ahead and add those to the list as well. So at any point you need certain things, you can just grab it from a group and then fill it in. You don't have to do them individually. Add one at a time, putting it together.